Hello all, this is Shravanti Sriramaju. In this lecture video we will learn what is a compound gear train. So here is the figure. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 number of gears. Okay, this is a rough example of a compound gear train. Now here A, B, C, D are the shafts upon which all the 6 gears are mounted. Okay, on shaft A gear 1 is mounted, and on shaft B we have 2 gears, 2 and 3. So 1 is behind the other. What is behind? 2 is behind and 3 is in front. Okay, so behind 3 you have gear 2. Here there is shaft C, and this is also carrying 2 gears. One is 4 and the other is 5. So 4 is behind the fifth gear, and D is the last shaft upon which there is gear number 6. Okay, so here let us assume that gear 1 is the driving gear. So to this driving gear we will provide motion or power which has to be transmitted through these gears to the last gear. That's why it is called driven gear or output gear. This is driving or input gear. Now here I am assuming that it is gear 1 is rotating in counterclockwise direction, and gear 1 is meshed with gear 2. It is mating gear 2. Because this is moving in counterclockwise direction, gear 2 will rotate in opposite direction to that of the gear 1. Okay, next, because gear 2 is rotating in clockwise direction, the shaft also rotates in clockwise direction, and because 3 is mounted on the same shaft, 3 also rotates in the same direction. Okay, now here 3 is mating with gear number 4. 3 is connected to gear 4. Okay, because 3 is rotating in clockwise direction, gear 4 will rotate in opposite direction to that of gear 3. Now because 4 is rotating, the shaft will rotate. Because the shaft is rotating, fifth gear will also rotate in the same direction. Now here fifth gear is mating with sixth gear. So because fifth is rotating in counterclockwise direction, gear 6 will rotate in clockwise direction. So this is the setup. So here what we have to understand is a compound gear train is a gear train in which the shafts in between will carry more than 2 gears, or more than 2 or more gears it will carry, each shaft in between the last and first. So here B and C are the intermediate shafts upon which we have 2 gears. So there can be 2 or more also, 3 and 4 are also possible. Okay, so it is by definition we say that compound gear train is series of gears that are connected in such a way that 2 or more gears rotate about an axis. That means shaft, an axis in the sense axis of shaft, with the same angular velocity, because it is both the gears are carrying are mounted on the same shaft. Okay, their angular velocity will be same. So I will come to the definition again. Series of gears are connected in such a way that 2 or more gears rotate about an axis with the same angular velocity. Now we know the by definition train value is the speed of driven gear by driving gear. Okay, let us see the first combination here. This is the first combination of 2 gears which are mating with each other. First 1 and 2 gears are mating each other. Now what is driven here? Out of 1 and 2, 2 is driven. Okay, so in the numerator I will write speed of the driven gear as N2 divided by speed of the driving gear. So this should be equal to teeth, T1 by T2. So T represents the number of teeth on the first gear, T2 is number of teeth on the second gear. Okay, similarly for I will write the train value for different other combinations that exist. So 3 and 4 are mating with each other. Okay, so 3 is the driving gear and 4 is the driven gear. So it should be N4, 4 is the driven gear, divided by N3. So this should be equal to T3 by T4. Similarly, the last combination that we have is 5 and 6 gears. These 2 gears are mating each other, 5 and 6. So here T5 is driving gear and T6 is driven. Okay, so driven gear is 6. So I am writing n6 divided by n5. So this should be equal to t5 by t6. Now I will again multiply all the LHS values and equate it to the multiplication of all the RHS values. So n2 by n1 is equal to into n4 by n3 into n6 by n5. This is multiplication. Should be equal to t1 by t2 into t3 by t4 into t5 by t6. Now here notice one point that by definition itself we have two or more gears rotate about an axis with same angular velocity. Same angular velocity because they are mounted on the same shaft. The shaft speed is same for both the gears. Okay, that's why here for example you consider shaft B. 2 and 3 are on the same shaft. So if the shaft is rotating by some 100 rpm, 2 and 3 also will rotate with the same. Okay, so here n2 should be equal to n3. Same thing I will do here. N3 is equal to n2. Okay, similarly considering shaft C, 4 and 5 are on the same shaft. Okay, so n4 should be equal to n5. So this n5 will be equal to n4. Now I can cancel out the numerator and denominator. Here I have n2 and here I have n3, which is nothing but n2. So I'll cancel out these two. Again I will cancel out n4 and n5. So finally I will be remaining with n6 by n1. So this is equal to t1 into t3 into t5 divided by t2 into t4 into t6. So here if you notice the numerator, we have number of teeth on 1, 3 and 5 gears. So what are 1, 3 and 5? Look here, 1, 3 and 5. 1 is the driving gear, 2 is driven, and again in 3-4 combination, the gear combination of 3-4, 3 is driving. Similarly in 5-6 combination, 5 is the driving. So 1, 3, 5 are driving gears. So 1, 3, 5. So I can write the numerator as product of number of teeth on driving gears. Similarly, if you look at the denominator, we have 2, 4 and 6 gears. Here 2 is driven, and because 3 is driving, 5 is also driven, 4 is driven, and because 5 is driving, 6 is also driven. So all the denominator terms are of those which are driven gears. So it is product of number of teeth on driven gears. This relationship is very important. Please remember this. Thank you.